Well, we only was released yesterday, of course, and there's 585 pages of it, so we've not got through all of it yet. But I think what we need is a sensible deal with the European Union that protects jobs, protects businesses, but also the deal in the future will mean we can control our own borders and make sure we can decide where to spend our money, and that money in the future is not going to go into the central coffers of the European Union. That's what the deal does. Some people are concerned with certain parts of it. I would call on them to take a calm look at it in the cold light of day. But I do think it's a deal we can work with.
And you're concerned by the flurry of resignations today, and obviously Dominic Raab has left his position. Does that situation concern you at this stage in time?
Of course, you want to see unity, but the reality is the country's divided on this issue. I voted and campaigned heavily to remain, but lots of other people wanted to leave, and the country's split down the middle. You can't just say one side won, therefore we'll just look after that interest. You've got to look after the whole country's interests. Parliament itself is divided on this. The Cabinet is divided on this, and some people feel this isn't a deal they can support, but the majority of the Cabinet do support it. Very much a majority in the House will support it, which will be the critical thing when it comes back for Parliament to vote on it in the next few weeks.
And do you have any insight on Mr Gove's thinking? Obviously, we understand while we've been at this conference and you've been speaking that he's been offered the position of Brexit Secretary. Do you think he would make a good person in that role?
I think he'd be brilliant in that role, and when the job came up for grabs quite recently when the previous Secretary of State for Brexit stepped down, I think he's a great person in DEFRA. I think he would be an excellent person negotiating with the European Union. But I think Michael Gove has certainly supported the Prime Minister in this deal, and he was one of the primary architects, of course, of Brexit, campaigned heavily to leave. So I think the fact that he's endorsing this deal is really significant, as is the Attorney General, who's one of the most senior legal minds in this country, and again somebody who campaigned to leave. So I think if it's good enough for them and they were in the leave camp, people should think twice about saying this deal is not the right deal. I think it is a sensible deal that will secure jobs, businesses, but also lets us do some things that people want us to do, such as control immigration.
And of course we're speculating at this point because Mr Gove is still the DEFRA Secretary as we speak. But where would it leave British agriculture and sort of the ministerial understanding of the issues facing agriculture approaching Brexit if Mr Gove was to vacate that position?
Well, we're into speculation now, of course, but there's plenty of good people in Parliament who know this sector inside out, this industry inside out. The Minister of Agriculture, of course, is George Eustace, an experienced farmer. He'd be a fantastic person, perhaps, to step into Michael Gove's shoes if he moved on. But let's see about that. But I think Michael Gove's been a great advocate for farming. I really hope, I'm sure, that the next Secretary of State will be just as big an advocate for farming too.